People are strange when you're a stranger. Faces look ugly when you're alone. Women seem wicked when you're unwanted. Streets are uneven when you're down. When you're strange, faces come out of the rain. When you're strange, no one remembers your name. When you're strange, when you're strange, when you're strange. People are strange when you're a stranger. Faces look ugly when you're alone. Women seem wicked when you're unwanted. Streets are uneven when you're down. When you're strange, faces come out of the rain. When you're strange, no one remembers your name. When you're strange, when you're strange, when you're strange. Here are the chords that are needed in some optional shapes. You'll need an E minor in the open position, an E minor on the 7th, an A minor in the open position, an A minor on the 5th, an A minor on the 12th, a B on the 2nd, a B on the 7th, a B7 in the open position, a B7 on the 4th, a B7 on the 7th, a G on the 3rd, and a G on the 7th. Let's take a look at these chords on the guitar. There's an E minor that's needed in the open position for the intro. An E minor on the 7th is used later. An A minor in the open position is in the intro, but you really only play the top notes, so you don't need the full A minor chord. A minor on the 5th. I play this A minor, this little 3-note shape up here on the 12th fret for part of the song. I play this B here on the 2nd, a B on the 7th, a B7 in the open position, B7 on the 4th, and an optional B7 here on the 7th can be used. You also need a G that you can play here on the 3rd fret, or a little 4-note shape here on the middle 4 strings of the 7th fret. Here's the intro played slowly. People are strange when you're a stranger. Faces look ugly when you're alone. Women seem wicked when you're unwanted. Streets are uneven when you're down. When you're strange, faces come out. Here's the tablature for the intro. Let's take a look at some of these variations I put on the chords of this song. The chord progressions themselves are pretty simple, but I do things on the chords that make it a little more complicated. So I start off on this B chord, and I play that little riff. So what I'm doing is I'm using this B shape here. Instead of playing like a bar chord with 2 fingers, what I'm doing is I'm playing these 3 notes here on strings 2, 3, and 4, the 4th fret, with my last 3 fingers, and I'm barring the 2nd fret to pick up those notes. So what I'm doing is I'm hitting the bass note, hitting the high notes of the chord, then I'm taking my 1st finger off and adding it here on the 3rd fret of the 1st string, making it into a quick augmented shape. So I'm raising that 5th up half step to augment the 5th, and then I'm barring here on the 4th fret strings 2, 3, and 4, and adding the note here, 1st string, 5th fret, and that becomes a B7 before I go to the G. When you play that part slowly with the lyrics, it sounds like this. When you're strange, faces come out of the rain. When you're strange, no one remembers your name. When you're strange, when you're strange, when you're strange. The second variation I do on the B chord on that section is I sing, when you're strange, faces come out of the rain. When you're strange, no one remembers your name. When you're strange, when you're strange, when you're strange. What I'm doing on that variation is I play the B here. I'm barring strings 2, 3, and 4 on the 4th fret with my 1st finger. And then I'm hitting the high note here on the 7th fret with my 4th finger on the 1st string. And then I lower it to a B7, which is the bar on the 4th fret and the note on the 5th fret 1st string. So what I'm doing is I'm hitting the high note, down to the B7, and then back up to the high note. And then I go to the G. And if you want to play this variation here on the 7th fret B chord, you can. You make this B shape here on the 7th fret, and then you add the 7th here on the 2nd string, 10th fret. No one remembers your name. And you can go to this G here at that point. So it would sound like, when you're strange, faces come out of the rain. No one remembers your name. When you're strange, when you're strange, when you're strange. There are 2 variations of bends you can throw in during the chorus section. The first variation sounds like this. When you're strange, faces come out of the rain. When you're strange, no one remembers your name. When you're strange. The second variation of bend sounds like this. When you're strange, faces come out of the rain. When you're strange, no one remembers your name. When you're strange. What I'm doing on those bends is I'm selecting this note here on the 2nd string, 10th fret, and just bending it up a full step and then muting it for the first variation. And the second variation is kind of like a pre-bend and release. So you can also play this note here on the 5th fret of the 1st string. I happen to prefer this string here, the 2nd string, because it's a little thicker and I get a little better sound out of it. There's a little walk that transitions from the chorus section back to the verse section. Sounds like. What's happening on that little walk is I start here on the 7th fret of the 6th string, hit it 3 times, and I go down to the 5th fret, down, hit it 3 times, down to the 3rd fret, 3 times, down to the 2nd fret, 3 times, and then you're ready to go to the E and play the next part. Or you can play starting here on this B on the 2nd fret of the 5th string, and then hit the open 5th string, and then go down to the 3rd fret and play the same notes. There's a little melody I include in the verse chords that's played during the instrumental section that sounds like this. What I'm doing on that melody is I start off in this E minor chord and I play. So So what I'm doing there is I'm starting off with the bass notes of the chord, and then I'm taking my second finger off so I can play the second string, and then the third string. Then I put my second finger back on and I play high notes, then low notes. So it sounds like, and then I go to the A minor chord. So there, what I'm doing is I'm taking that A minor chord, I'm really turning it into an A minor 7 for a period here. Because I'm using my pinky finger to play up from the 5th fret to the 7th fret to the 8th fret. And then I go back to the E minor and I do high strings, then low strings. And then I go back to the A minor and do the same thing. To the E minor and then the same thing. And then I play these 3 notes of a B shape here on the 7th fret. What I'm doing there is I'm adding the note on the 2nd string, 8th fret. Taking it off and then going to the E minor chord. So this whole part played slowly sounds like this. The second variation on this section starts off with the same E minor riff, and then I go up to this A minor here on the 12th fret. And what I'm doing is I'm adding the note here on the 15th fret of the 2nd string, and then back to the E minor, where I hit the high strings and the low strings again. Back to the A minor, E minor, and then I do the same ending on the B to the E minor. This whole instrumental section played slowly sounds like this. This instrumental section is actually played behind the second verse as well. It sounds like this. People are strange when you're a stranger. Faces look ugly when you're alone. Women seem wicked when you're unwanted. Streets are uneven when you're down. Here's the solo. When you're strange. Here's section 1 of the solo played slowly. Here's the tablature for section 1 of the solo. Here's section 2 of the solo played slowly. Here's the tablature for section 2 of the solo.